Hello world. We're going to take a look at day 6 of the LeetCoding challenge. Group Anagram. Okay, this looks pretty simple. It's a one-liner. Given an array of strings, group anagrams together. Okay, problem. Given an array of strings, group the anagrams together. I just want to be sure on what an anagram is. Pretty sure it means that the string has all the same amount of one letter. So if two strings are anagrams of each other, that means they have the same letters and the same count of each letter. I'm just going to Google that to make sure. Word, phrase, or name formed by rearranging the letters of another cinema form from Iceman. Yeah, same letters, same count, just in a different way. It's in a different order. So a word, anagram, two words that have the same count of the same letters as each other. Let's look at the example they gave us. We've got eat, tea, tan, ate, gnat, and bat. So the anagrams, first group is ate, eat, tea, because they have A, E, and T. Then we've got gnat, tan. That's because they have N, A, and T. And the last one is bat, and that's all by itself because it only has B, A, and T. None of the other ones have B. So there's a few different ways to do this. We could use an object to store counts of chars in a given string. But then, like, to show an example, that would be like J is, like, say we got 8, like the word 8. Actually, let's say we're looking at the first word, eat. So we have the letter E, we've got 1, we've got A, we have 1, and T, we have 1. That's one way you can keep track of the counts. But then there's the problem of if we are looking at different orders of the same letters, so like eat versus T, if we are iterating through the string, which will be an array, it's like E, A, and T, that order is going to be different in the object. Like A, it'll be A, I mean T, E, and A. So they're going to be input differently. So it might make them hard to compare. And also just storage-wise, it might be easier to not store all of them as counts for comparison purposes. Might be a better way to do that. What about sorting? Let's think about sorting. We have A, T, E. If we sort that from least character to highest character, it would be A, E, T. And then if we did that for E, it would also be A, E, T, and T would be A, E, T. So if we had an object which stored the counts of a certain sequence of letters, so sequence of sorted letters like AET, we could store them in this fashion. So the return value is kind of interesting. You have a collection of all of the strings which match a certain anagram profile. So like AET would be one, and we'd have the array which contained the original string. So 8 E for T, or what would the second one be? Tan, it had to be ANT for tan and 8, and then ABT for bat. And that's the answer we're looking for in that example. So that looks good. And a good thing to mention is that all inputs will be lowercase. That's nice. And then the order of the output doesn't matter. It's also nice. Makes it a lot simpler. So data structure, I want to use a single object to store arrays, store an array in a property which signifies an anagram. Each anagram has its own array of matching strings. And then we need to go through the entire collection of strings. So we need to use either a for loop or some iteration. So we'll use for each for that. So algorithm, declare, initialize variable, object with anagram store. Declare undefined variable to stand for current string converted to array. And I'm doing this here so I don't have to declare a new variable every single time that we're going through the for each iteration. I think it just looks nicer to declare it once and then have it reassigned on each iteration. And then invoke for each. Then we need to convert string to an array and sort it from lowest to highest value string. And we want to, since sort is destructive in JavaScript, we want to slice the string so it doesn't affect the original string. Then what else? Actually, I don't think it will be destructive because strings can't be, they're immutable because they're not like objects or arrays where their elements are mutable. So I don't think we have to slice it. I'll try it without slicing. If it doesn't work, then I'll slice it. Check if object doesn't have object string sorted. So this is our sorted string. Is undefined. Assign object string sorted to an empty array, and then push the current string onto object string sorted. And then finally, return the values of that, which is object.values. Then we want the actual object. Okay, and I think that'll work in an edge case where there's none, because it just won't return, it'll just return one empty array because there's no properties in the object to get the values of. So let's try this out. Let anagrams go to this object, let current string, and then strings for each. Okay. Now I want to make our sorting function, our callback. So I'm going to do this manually. So if A is less than B, return like this -1. And then also if A is greater than B, return 1, else return 0. Okay. Current string is equal to string dot split dot sorter dot join. Let's see if that's giving us the right string representation of the sorted string. Yeah, that's perfect. It's perfect. And let's make sure that we're not mutating string, which I don't think is possible. Yeah, we're good. Now, bless you. And I want to check if anagrams current string is undefined. I tend to use equals undefined and not just the bang operator, because sometimes JavaScript has some strange implicit coercions, like with the number 0 or other things like that, that make it falsy, and then this returns true, and then some expectations get a little wonky in the program. So I like to just be explicit about it and say equals undefined. So if it is undefined, we want to anagrams current string is equal to an empty array. And then we know on each iteration we want to push that string onto the sorted string property of the anagrams object. Then we'll return object.values anagrams. Let's see what we get. Okay, the set order output doesn't matter, so this should still be okay. Like the expected answer was this, and we got this, which is the same answer but just in the opposite order. They're going from the smallest length to the longest length array. But I think it'll be okay. Let's try an empty array and then an array with just 1. And the empty array should just return an empty array, and eat should return 1 subarray within an array with the with the eat word in it. looks like using single quotes is going to throw that off. Let's try this. Okay, nice. That turned out pretty good. Looks solid. Let's submit it, see what we get. Nice. Accepted. Let's see how we did. Yeah. Average solution. Not too bad. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.